to Shirtless Talker Psychology. Psychology wrong. Wait, that's probably good. Welcome to Shirtless Talker Psychology 101. Today we're going to be going over 5 tips that will help you master your brain. And the first tip I have for you is that no one cares about you as much as you think. That's right. Tip number 1 is the spotlight effect. You think about yourself every day. You have to live in your own body. Oh, I dropped my pencil. Well, we got the finger now. You need to live with yourself every day. People do not care as much as you think. I promise you, they're not thinking about you as much as you think. That thing you did that was embarrassing 2 weeks ago, people have already forgotten it. They've already moved on. So, you should care less about it because everyone else doesn't care about it. But the will to do things needs to come from within, not from other people's validation or affirmation. You need to do it for yourself. Tip number 2, confirmation bias. What is confirmation bias? Well, have you ever talked to your grandparents who are extremely Trump supporters? And they tell you that everything they see is good because they only watch Fox News? Or have you ever talked to your extremely liberal friend and they tell you that everything is bad that the Republicans are doing because they only watch CNN? This is confirmation bias. When you believe something to be true, so you go into it looking for the reasons to confirm your bias, to confirm what you already believe. You need to not fall for this. You need to understand your own biases because let me let you in on a little secret. Everybody has biases. Every single person has biases. You have a bias, I have a bias, we all have a bias. So you have to understand what you're biased towards and try and actively work to not be biased towards those things because life is all about learning. Let's move on to number 3, sunk cost fallacy. Probably one of the most important psychology ideas not to fall for. I want to present to you a little scenario. You're working on your crochet. And you are 3 days into this crochet project. It is a gorgeous piece, except you made a huge mistake in the beginning. And so you can either A, commit to 3 more days of it being shit, or you could restart, do it correctly. You're going to know how to do it better, so it only take you 4 hours, and it will be gorgeous. This is sunk cost fallacy, where you believe that you have put in so much effort, so much energy, time, resources, whatever it may be. Resources is the best word for this. So you keep going instead of giving it up. You know that relationship you have? The relationship you have and you keep going because you don't know if you're going to find another person, and well, this person does treat you pretty well but doesn't treat you amazingly. That is sunk cost fallacy. You need to end it. You know you need to end it, but you aren't ending it. Your friend's telling you to end it. Your dad's telling you to end it. But guess what? You're not ending it because you're falling for the sunk cost fallacy. That is your fault. And I'm sure if this isn't you, that you know someone who does this. I'm positive. But let's move on to number 4, dopamine versus happiness. There is a difference between getting hit of dopamine, such as endlessly scrolling on Instagram, on your reels, and happiness. Well, what's the difference? What causes dopamine versus happiness? A dopamine example is the doom scrolling. A happiness example comes from time. Oftentimes when you devote a lot of resources to something, and you see it turn out really good, like that crochet that you didn't fall for the sunk cost fallacy. When you restart and you go, I'm going to do it correctly this time, and after 4 days you achieve a result, that is happiness. And I also hate to break it to you, but it doesn't last. So you should always be in search for the next source of what makes you happy. What do you actually enjoy doing? Because sometimes you enjoy doing stuff that you think other people are thinking about constantly and they make fun of you or they don't like it. But guess what? You cannot focus on them. You have to focus on yourself. And how are you going to accomplish this? Well, number 5, habits are greater than motivation. Habits over motivation. That's what you need to focus on. If you want to be happy, you need to have strong habits. Because everybody gets motivated. Everyone. But what happens when that motivation dies? What happens when you're no longer motivated? Well, you have 2 options. You either push through and achieve that source of happiness, or you give up. And, well, on the other side of your greatest fears, your greatest troubles, are your unrealized potential. These are my 5 psychology tips for you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Bye-bye.